Let's start beat.
Time to wake up, wipe the crust out your eyes. Me and Big Mike about to take up your time. It's the shake up. I'm about to enter
Bro,
your
are you
prime.
serious? When did you start feeling bad? Over the weekend?
It's been like 4 days of me slowly feeling sicker and sicker.
Have you had a fever or anything, or it's just like
Not yet,
general
not yet. It's just like congestion is starting to
Yeah.
kick in.
coughing?
First day it was like body, like a little bit of body aches. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then and then it just became congestion, and now it's really setting in. I'm pretty sure by tomorrow I might not have a voice, but we'll see.
Golly, dude, in like low energy.
I mean, that's just 24/7. That's lack of sleep, brother.
Oh, true. Yeah. That is unfortunately a fact. I'd be looking at people like on Instagram, like they'd be like, I get 8 hours of sleep. How?
How?
What do you not do?
I'll be lucky with 4. I'll
Bruh.
be lucky with 4.
I'll be
grateful if I
praying
get
for
4.
5. Like I'll be like, Lord, please just let me like
6. 6. That's a good day. That's 6. I might not need coffee in the morning.
6 will make you
6
feel favored.
Oh my God. Blessed. What?
6 will make you hit that Gojo pose. I alone.
Oh my God. I'd be feeling like a king at 6. What? 6? Do I get a steak today too? What? Am I what?
What you mean? No,
I
wait,
gotta
hold
play
on,
the
hold on.
lottery.
You telling me no money is coming out of my account today? Now you
Not
just
a
lying.
dime?
Now you just lying.
Oh my God.
Now you
Blessed
just lying.
be.
I had something
God
come out
love
my
me
account.
today.
It said like Global Pay Pro. When I tell you, I legitimately don't know what that is. Like I've
Yeah.
canceled it. I was able to, it wasn't a scam. I'm just like, Michael, what free trial were you using? And forgot to cancel. For like what I looked at the website, I was like, what service do they offer that I positively like needed them for? I don't, man, adulting is
Yeah.
fun.
The amount of times, like when, dude, recently, like I had to get a new debit card because my company switched from MasterCard to Discover, and I was like, cool, that's
Yeah.
tight. All right, bet. So whenever that happened, though, they were like telling me like, hey, you want to change this account over, change this account. My bank was like doing it for me, and I was like, yeah, we'll do that. Wait, what the fuck? When did I do that? Oh, we're not gonna do that one. I'll do that one. We'll do that one. We ain't doing that one. What's that? Oh, nah. This money been coming out my account this whole time. You telling me?
Bro.
Nah. Now they confused as hell trying to charge me. They don't know where to charge.
That do be the funny part whenever you get a new card. and then suddenly you that's when you realize the different stuff you're paying for that's like on a recurring payment, because nobody plays about their money. They're all hitting you with either emails or calls like, sir, your last card didn't go through. Do you have a new method of payment?
That? Yeah, what's the new method of payment? There is none. I meant to cancel this months ago.
Literally.
Please take the hint.
You get like two nice like methods of contact, and the third one's like, we gonna cancel your shit if you don't run us our coins. We tried reaching out to you. We tried to keep it cordial.
I don't have much gold. I do not have much gold. Do not take much gold. I do not have much gold. Please do not take my gold. I do not have much. Please.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so fun.
Yeah, listen, companies. You know, after a month of trying to track me down, stop. If I don't want to pay for your service, I stop. If I talk to you already and said, "Oh yeah, I'm not paying that," and you keep calling me, you're blocked. Dial somewhere else, okay? I had a gym membership that was chasing me down. I was no longer using this gym. Like they were chasing me down for 3 months. I was like, I hadn't used it in 3 months. I was like, I'm not gonna use this. I talked to the manager. I said, hey, I don't want to use this gym membership. They're like, you gotta send a letter. I was like, the fuck is this, Harry Potter land?
Bro,
I gotta send a letter to who?
Gyms are a cult, dude. Like
I'm saying.
the fact that most gyms you have to like go in person to cancel it, bitch. If you don't run me, take my car off the file. No, you really, you could just, you could do it. I know what I
We're
can
gonna
do. I'm
we're
aware.
gonna change your life, Mike. We're gonna change it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you a better person. You're gonna get
You're
strong.
just not. You're $40
You're
every
gonna
2 weeks, and I don't come
you're
up here. You're
you're gonna
just
get big
not.
and strong, Mike. You're gonna get big and
I
strong for us.
if I went up there 100%, I'm up here the first week of January, and that's it consistently. That's the
I was just trying to switch gyms and they kept pounding me. I was like, yo, listen, I already told y'all I'm canceling this gym membership.
clearly.
Take my card off file, leave me alone. I do not have to write a letter. They're like, well, it's in the and I was like, I don't care. I don't care. Is harassment in the contract? Because at this point, that's what we're getting at. I'm not writing a letter. I'm sorry. I'm, I, I will be that asshole. I live in a free country.
Hey,
All right. I am not writing a letter.
I
I don't care what it
understand.
takes.
I understand. I
But for all intents and purposes, allegedly this all happened.
allegedly, and 100%. And by the way, his real name is Bertol Stone. So
Yes. I'm Dominican puppy.
was not ready. I'm too touch deprived for that.
No. No, we ain't doing that.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunday Morning Bowl podcast. I need to remember to do the intros because like I be forgetting the name of our podcast. Like if somebody were to come up to me in the street, be like, you do a podcast?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Keel, Mike,
Black and Brown.
Brian. Some I don't know. Something
He
about anime
sucks.
for sure. Some look for Luffy or something like that.
Yeah, just
I don't know.
look for the yellow thing. I will never get over my coworker being like, "How you gonna have the thumbnail up in this Luffy and you don't like One Piece?" I was like, "It's called compromise, bro."
What's funny is I didn't even argue for that to happen.
You,
just did.
it honestly, I'm trying to remember how it got there because I don't know if that was I added it or if that was like the template. Like it was already there.
Yeah.
Because I think at some point my idea was to change the middle character to like whatever anime we were focusing on for the week, and I was like, I don't know.
Could be
all that.
could careless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even our like photo is Luffy holding Ace, which is like such a sad photo to have. But I have nothing else to put there. Like I was looking
to ask you.
to I've been looking to put something in there and I'm like, I don't know what to put there. So it's just gonna be that sad photo for however long it takes for us to figure out what to do with our graphics and stuff. But yeah, Saturday Morning Bowl, welcome back. Hopefully you guys are doing good, are happy, are living a great life. We we are. I'm gonna air Mike out. Mike went on a date.
Yeah, that's just like 100% getting cut. It's just like there's no way.
Okay, now cut back here. And we're back.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna say this. Look for it, and then I'm gonna cut it again. She texted me earlier. I have not responded yet. And it's not even all the like malicious stuff. I keep forgetting.
Damn, man. Anyways, we are back.
We're back.
We're back. And we're back. And we're back. And we back. And we back. Actually earlier this week, I texted you.
Did.
Okay.
Very excited.
Because I saw something that frustrated me. Lately I've been getting really mad. In a lot of different ways. Yesterday was playing Apex, made me mad, and on this day, I forget the day, I saw a tweet. Now, keep in mind, I had been seeing a lot of tweets of this kind, right? Where
Okay.
this person tweets, "I'm looking to finish some anime gems that are worth experiencing. Any more Rex?" In parentheses, no, I'm not watching One Piece. That's fine, by the way. That's fine.
It's valid.
It's valid. It's fine. It's 1,000 episodes. I get it.
That's the only reason.
So then it goes off and says Cowboy Bebop,
Hmm?
Bleach,
Mm-hmm.
full Dragon Ball series, Devil May Cry,
Hmm?
Monsters, Baki, Frieren. Now, Mike,
It's a good list.
I love Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the Dragon Ball franchise. It's
Mhm.
such a it's a token in this space.
Iconic.
But when you talk about the full Dragon Ball series,
Mhm.
the full thing,
Yep.
I guarantee you, very few people have experienced the full thing, and there's a reason.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I
There is a reason.
wholeheartedly disagree.
Have you experienced the whole entire thing?
Yes, from Dragon Ball to the only thing I haven't finished is Super. But yeah,
There
Dragon
you go.
Ball, Dragon Ball
That's
Z,
not the whole
Dragon
thing,
Ball
huh?
GT.
That's
Up
happens to
until-
not be
but
the whole
Super
thing, huh?
Super is recent, and Super was so bad that
Yeah.
they're doing a remake. So we're not
Happens-
even talking about that.
happens not to be the
We
whole thing,
could
huh?
we couldn't even almost remake
Hey,
One
can
Piece.
we-
We could pretend to
we-
remake One Piece. We shit.
No, we did. Live action.
When
And they are
will it
remaking
get done? When will it get 2092?
Who cares when it gets done? It will get done when it gets done.
It will get
I
done
guess
when
this,
it gets
this
done.
is this is the shit that blows me. All right,
Go for
you
it.
will watch 800 episodes of Bleach, 700 episodes of Naruto, but you can't watch 1,000 episodes of One Piece.
The difference is the pacing, though. Part of it,
Yeah.
part of it is.
Talk
But
to
also,
me
I will
about that
also say
later.
this. I will
Dragon
talk
Ball
to me
Z,
about that
Dragon Ball Z. I've watched 96 episodes of it. It's taken me 2 years to watch 96 episodes.
That's
It
on
took me
you.
4 months to catch up on One Piece. Why? Because One Piece was way more entertaining for me. Dragon
for
Ball
you.
Z
You just said it.
In 96 episodes,
Mhm.
Dragon Ball Z has 30 fights. And this is for my people who argue that fighting is so important in anime or whatever. That people that like the pizzazz of fighting. Dragon Ball Z has 30 fights. I looked this up. You could look it up too. It has 30 fights.
I actually did a Gemini when you did it.
One Piece has, I believe, somewhere around 40, 50 fights. So just a little bit more. But the thing is, in 96 episodes of One Piece, not only do you have that many fights, you have important fights, lore based fights. More of those happen in One Piece in that time period, 96 episodes, than in Dragon Ball Z.
How are fights in Dragon Ball Z not lore fight? What fights in Dragon Ball Z is not a lore fight?
Some of them are just scuffles. They mean nothing.
Like
The
what?
biggest fight is Frieza versus Goku. And that's where I'm at 96 episodes. Then
So
you have
so you've had Raditz versus Goku, which is integral to the story. Goku and Piccolo.
that's integral too. There's one.
You have Nappa versus the Z fighters. You have
That's two.
Vegeta versus Goku. You have
Which happens a couple times.
Yeah, I was talking about the first. Like I'm going like in order from like
Yeah,
yeah.
What-
Happens
what
a few different times. Yeah.
what I'm
Go ahead.
what I'm breaking down here is that for me, the fights in One Piece happen
Mhm.
faster pace because it takes 20 episodes for Dragon Ball Z to finish a fucking fight. And I don't want to hear from anybody else about One Piece pacing if you're going to talk about Dragon Ball Z here. Because the pacing in Dragon Ball Z fights, we all know you're going to find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
That's how it ends. That's
A
integral
narrator
to your
can't
brain.
get paid. A narrator can't get paid now.
Come on, dude. One Piece can't just milk 1,000+ episodes. What are we doing?
If we can have 12 Fast and Furious movies, then the narrator
Then we can have 1,000+ episodes of One Piece too.
Okay, but I hear you. I want you to know you're hurt, and
Uh-huh.
your feelings are
I
validated.
don't feel heard.
And you're hurt. You're not agreed with, but you're hurt.
Okay.
For me, as somebody who grew up watching watching both on Toonami, even though Dragon Ball Z, you're 100% right. I mean, people talk about it all the time, like literally all the time. Those fights take forever to actually finish, but they're still just all of them feel like iconic. All of them can just, to me, I can remember these fights. I don't remember all of the fights from One Piece.
I do. That's
And-
because I
and-
like it.
And again, right, exactly. That's the that's the difference. That's why I will never be one of those people to just for real, like straight up say something is better than the other thing. Because
Yeah.
how I feel is now I will say this just objectively, I think Dragon Ball Z is better than One Piece just from the just the influence it has on anime. Like obviously, there's stuff that that have been influenced by One Piece. I can't name it off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's out there. But
To be,
just
I can give you that argument because I can't think of many things that are highly influenced like
mhm.
of One Piece that I'm like I can point it out in anime, but I can do that with Naruto, I can do that with Bleach, and I can also do that
Yeah,
with Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, exactly. Right. And again, I'm sure they're out. See, well, now I feel like
They're
I
out
want to
there.
do like a research for that. Like we could do that by the next episode. Like I'm actually kind of
Yeah.
curious, like because there's just no because One Piece. I mean, again, I don't like it, but it's it's one of the biggest animes. It's until Demon Slayer, it had the most sold mangas of all time. I think Demon
Mhm.
Slayer beat it out like one time. I don't know how the numbers work with that, but I'm pretty sure Demon Slayer had beat it out like at one time, and I think One Piece took back over. But
Mhm.
so you can't say like no matter how you feel about it. Like I can say Demon Slayer sucks. Like I can say it with my full chest. I'm not gonna say like
Yeah.
I do think I think One Piece sucks, but I'm not gonna say like completely with finale that One Piece sucks. Like I will do for
I
Demon
just feel
Slayer.
like whenever I hear you say why you don't like Demon Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
I can see your points are valid. Main
Mm-hmm.
character
Mm-hmm.
being whiny, little boy
You're
crying all the time.
right.
I understand that, right? I also understand that the villain in Demon Slayer isn't as strong or crazy to go up against, especially when
Yeah.
you have Nezuko who solves his problem in 3 seasons. But like, yeah, and he's been trying to figure out his whole life. Let's just talk about that. But like,
Just like
but
he
like,
just
there's things,
had so
there's
much
things.
time. Had so much like his villain origin story should be this little girl figure out what took him hundreds of
he
years
should he should be done with Tanjiro at this point and just fully focused on trying to figure out what the hell Nezuko got going on.
Oh
And
man.
here's the thing: it's the power of friendship. We all know that that's how it's gonna end. I don't really know. I didn't read the manga, but at the end of the day, it's just like you got a wholesome character, a non-wholesome character. What's the
Yeah.
difference? Obviously, it's gonna be the wholesome character is wholesome, and that's what it is. But nonetheless, right? Demon Slayer, it has its faults, but it has its ups, which I hold high standard to or high value to, which is I really enjoy the lore impacted into each character, like especially in the demons. Like I kind of think the demons are almost cooler than some of the other characters. I think some of the Hashiras are really cool, but
Mm-hmm.
like there's a balance there. Some of them are annoying and just like, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but for a most part, there's like a balance there. But then also, it has some of the most incredible animation, bar none,
100%. Yeah,
in the show.
yeah, it really like it's kind of how I feel. The way I feel about like Demon Slayer is almost how I feel about Fortnite. Like Fortnite from a gaming aspect, like nobody did what they had done as far as like
Hmm.
weekly updates, like the game literally not looking the same every week. Like that at some point that became something like I didn't care for, but that was something really
Hmm.
cool and just, all the different
Constantly growing,
collaborations. Exactly.
constantly
Collaborations
trying to be
bringing in
better.
different pop icons, characters from other things that you would never ever expect to be in Fortnite. And then I would compare that to just the animation that Demon Slayer has. It's just like you said, it's just gorgeous. I don't think I genuinely don't think that there has been another anime to like consistently be at that same level of animation as Demon Slayer. At least from what I've seen, like I don't think anything's like necessarily ugly. Like stuff like
Hmm.
Bleach, Bleach between Bleach and the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, it obviously got us a incredible revamp. So the animation was gorgeous, but it to me, like I never really cared that much about animation or just
Hmm.
like know like I appreciated it, but like Demon Slayer made me really just like respect the hell out of what these people did. So
It's a
100%
beautiful,
it's gorgeous.
yeah, it's a beautiful animation style. It works well
Yep.
with the story. It makes the fights more impactful and everything. Even though all of the glitz and glam and the glory is not real in the world that it's in, but visually it looks awesome when you're watching it.
Yep.
Nonetheless, right? I can understand those reasons why you would hate Demon Slayer. When it comes to One Piece, the number one and almost only argument people have ever been able to give me is it's too long. And that just blows my shit because Naruto is 700 episodes. I don't remember exactly how much Bleach is, but it's somewhere around 800, 600, something like that in
Yeah.
that realm. And
And a
Dragon
lot
Ball
of it's
Z,
filler. To be fair.
Dragon Ball Z's full series is about 700.
Uh huh.
And yes, those have a higher percentage of filler than One Piece does. Now, is the pacing in One Piece a little bit slower? Sure, whatever. But here's the thing: it's driven behind impactful lore. There's not a character in One Piece that you will forget. You will remember every single character because of the lore behind them. Especially if they fought Luffy, you will just remember them. There's not a forgettable character in the whole entire
Well, of
series.
course, because every episode has a background story.
But you know how many characters there are?
I don't.
Thousands, almost.
Yeah,
But you will remember them.
that was even like I'm I'm not trying to be funny. I don't. I
Too many. Like too honestly, probably too many. But at the end of the day, when you're watching a show, you don't want that much lore? Or is that what you're telling me? Like when I watch a show and I genuinely like it, I want more of it.
Okay, so you just kind of raised up a potential argument. This isn't my argument. I just have a genuine. I just not interested in watching that show. Like I'm just
Sure.
not. It's just I can't tell you where it originated from. Like, and I watched up because I watched it when I was younger. I watched up to the like they wherever they go next. Like they beat Alabasta's a sand area, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a sand land.
Yeah.
Yeah. After they beat Crocodile there, that was the last
Yeah.
I remember watching.
Yep. And look how memorable it is. You remember everything about it so far.
I just said Crocodile and Alabaster, brother.
Yep, that's all you got to remember.
That's it. Nothing else happened in the whole.
Ace was there. He was there. I mean, if I go and mention more stuff, you'll be like, "Oh my god, yeah, I remember that." Right? You'll remember all of it. But obviously, look, my point is here, right? And I get it. Not being interested in anime, 100% understand. Because when I first tried to watch One Piece,
Mhm.
I watched 3 episodes and stopped. I did a 3-episode rule and I stopped. And part of it was I was like, I don't know how I feel about this animation, right? It was really
Mhm,
old
mhm.
school. I mean, super old, right? So animation is way behind in that time even. And so I was like, I don't know. This is I just finished watching Naruto. I
Mhm.
just finished watching I just finished watching Attack on Titan, I think season 3. I was starting Demon Slayer, so I was already watching some pretty damn good anime, and
Right.
then I go to One Piece, and I'm like, the animation doesn't do it for me, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
But
probably
then one
a
day,
rough transition from Demon Slayer animation to One Piece.
yes, but then one day I saw a clip of a fight scene from One Piece, and I was like,
Mhm.
man, that kind of looks kind of badass. I'm not even gonna lie, that looks pretty dope.
Okay, let me
So then
go
I
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
rewatched. So then I rewatched, and I binged 10 episodes, and I was like, wait, that's kind of fucking good. All right, I'm a binge this shit. I timed
Mhm.
how many episodes I could watch in a day to
Mhm.
catch up in 4 months, and that's what I did. And I think it was somewhere around 11 to 10 episodes a day. And because I work from home, it's fairly easy for me because I just put it up on the side monitor, and then
Gotcha.
also I just go to the gym and I watch it while I'm working out.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. Just constantly having it out. Wow, that's how I caught up. Is that practical for any normal human being? No, but it's what I did, right? And it took me 4 months. So the argument of it being long, and I didn't go do the one pace style.
Uh-huh.
There's also one pace, which I think now is caught up. You can go that route, and you'll fully catch up faster than even I did, and
You
with less time.
you said something earlier that I think could raise a point for a person not wanting to be interested in One Piece because you mentioned the lore and how extensive it is
Mm.
and how like as a One Piece watcher, is it fair to say you need to watch all of the episodes to be like have a full understanding of the show and where they're at in the show? Like
Mm,
could you like excluding the filler ones obviously, but like could you say like so I told you like I just mentioned I didn't or I stopped watching after Alabasta, right? Which I know is
mhm.
pretty early on in comparison with the just longevity of the show.
It it doesn't hurt because as you go on into the show,
Hmm.
they'll go back to certain things that you probably missed.
Okay,
Right? You probably at the time are watching and you're like, "What's this matter to me?" But
it's
then you go further and you're like, "Oh shit, I remember
mhm.
that." You know? Um
and
So
there's a
yeah.
reason I asked that. The reason I asked that is because you brought up the lore, and when the MCU started dropping like the TV shows, right?
Mhm,
Along with their movies. A lot of
mhm.
people I remember a lot of like criticism was like, so in order for me to enjoy these movies, do I now have to watch all of these shows? Do I have to watch all of this stuff just to be caught up for whatever's going on in this universe? I feel like a person can honestly make that um
You could
make
make that
I think
argument
you could make
or
that argument,
assumption for One Piece for sure.
and I think the way you could, to your point, right, with Dragon Ball Z, how slow the fights are, you could make that point for Dragon, but I think the difference is just the overall pacing. Because even with Dragon Ball Z, yeah, the fights can take a minute, but like I feel like they're more engaging overall
Right.
because than what's going on with One Piece, and that's also because like I mean, like you said, you the bigger fights are going to take a minute to actually like fizzle out, but these other little
Yeah.
fights that they'll do kind of matter. Like I don't know, the one that kind of came to mind is Gohan versus Dabura.
Mhm.
Not like obviously not one of the bigger fights of that arc, but just something that did it happened. It was I guess you could say it was necessary to Gohan's growth or whatever, even though that got
Mhm.
thrown away. Oh,
Well, that's
I don't want to talk about
okay.
Gohan. I don't want to talk about Gohan.
So
Please,
that
please don't bring up Gohan. I don't want to talk about Gohan.
well, that's gonna be my point with the whole Dragon Ball Z series.
Mhm.
With the whole Dragon Ball series, is at the end of the day, what's the point of Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball series? What is their end all goal? They already saved the planet several times.
Keep saving
They
the
murdered a
planet.
bunch of different planets. They keep saving the planet, but
It,
how long do you do that until it becomes stale?
so people stop fucking around and finding out.
But when will that happen? Because Frieza's always going to come back. Someone's always going to come back for their theirs. You know, someone's always going to be like, "Oh, I'm bigger and badder," and that's the point. Is Dragon Ball Z, Goku, because he now became the main character.
hmm
His whole thing is like, I'm just going to keep being stronger than everybody else,
Yeah.
and that's it, right? Don't get me wrong, that's awesome, right? In the sense of I'm gonna get hella fights. It's gonna be super action packed. It's super cool. But the overall story means nothing to me, right? Whereas with One Piece, the overall story is about a kid who wants to be king of the pirates. And along the way, he sees and experiences the world through a lens of a pirate and starts to learn that the government and the world that he lives in, there's more beyond it. There's darker darks, there's lighter lights, there's people that are oppressed, there's people that live in riches that just take advantage of the people that are oppressed. There's an overall lore to One Piece
hmm
that kind of like Avatar teaches you something. Whether you want to learn it or understand it or whatever the case may be, totally up to you. It may not be your cup of tea. I can understand that, right? But if you're only, or this is where what my argument is. If your only argument is that One Piece is too long, then I don't understand why you would watch a Dragon Ball series, because it is also very long for someone just beating everybody's ass every single time.
Yeah, but he's beating everybody's ass.
Yeah, but he's beating everybody's ass
His
every
hair,
single time. That
his
becomes
hair color
stale.
changes. Yeah.
That becomes
Um.
stale. So someone like me, that becomes stale, right?
No, I get. I genuinely do not fully disagree with you.
Yeah.
I really don't. I've actually I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I have said that like objectively Dragon Ball like it's super fun. It means a lot to a lot of people. Goku is a lot
100%.
very similar to Naruto in the aspect of like people like real life want to be like Goku, not in like the sense of being the strongest person in the room, but just like leveling up. I think
Yeah.
I think that's what
And I can
care
understand that. You tie yourself to a character and you're like, yeah,
right.
I want to be this, right?
And I think Goku for more I think Goku represents that more for people than Luffy does. And I think that's kind of the core difference. I think a lot of people connect more with Goku in the show, so they can overlook the stuff in the show that's
Yeah.
just kind of like they can overlook that because you just, how is Goku going to come out on top?
He's always gonna come out on top.
Like, but he's like, how is he going to do it?
Right.
How is he going to, like, he has to level up, he has to get stronger.
But
Like,
but if that question is so impactful and deep to you, that
Mhm.
question also stands to Luffy too, because Luffy is not strong in the beginning. He's not even close to the strongest pirate.
Right.
He doesn't even have hockey, which is like the basis of the power system in One Piece. All he has is a devil fruit, which is just a cheat sheet,
Yeah,
right?
but I would argue that, like you said, that's not the point of the show.
Right, exactly. It's not
Yeah.
the point, but it is a thing where it's like, how will Luffy be the king of the pirates if he's not the strongest pirate? If he's only at the beginning of the show, 17.
Well, they don't use, because I think it's that's what I mean. It's different because in Goku's universe, it's important to be the strongest, right? There's emphasis on strength.
Hmm.
They don't really say, and keep me honest, I don't remember the phrase strongest pirate. I remember the phrase greatest pirate. Now, obviously, you can
Yeah.
interpret that however you want, but
Hmm.
it doesn't necessarily have to
Some,
be strength.
yeah, I mean, the strongest pirate of most crews is normally not even the captain. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It sometimes, most of the times it is, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't want to make this argument because I might be wrong here. Whitebeard
Mhm.
was a very strong pirate
Mhm.
in One Piece.
Mhm.
At some point, he was no longer the strongest pirate in his crew. Was he still very strong?
Mhm.
Yes, but he just so happened to have a stronger pirate in his crew. Uh, you could argue, but I don't think any of them would have stepped toe to toe against Whitebeard to like even question his strength because he was the captain, right? But let's say like Shanks, he is the strongest pirate in his crew.
Mhm.
Not no argument, but he also has the strongest pirate crew, arguably,
Mhm.
probably.
Mhm.
Kaido,
I can't argue against.
right? Kaido, the strongest pirate in the world, so strong he wants to die. He literally cannot. That's how they introduce him. He falls from the sky, lands on the ground because he tried to kill himself and he can't die. That's how strong he is.
Has he tried punching
So
himself?
no, but strength matters in this, right? It does matter to a point because in order for Luffy to get to the point where he's the king of the pirates,
Mhm.
he has to take out some of these guys. And so, in my opinion, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Goku's whole thing and the whole thing in Dragon Ball is to be the strongest, be the best. How do you be the best? How do you be the strongest when you get your ass beat most of the time by choice? But you still get your ass beat, and then you got to come back and then fight. Well, he's the same. So when he loses, he
Really
comes
get
back stronger
stronger. Yeah.
naturally. Yeah,
Extremely
like
broken.
it's
That's
yeah.
the world's most broken passive, actually. I just thought about that shit. That's crazy. You're like,
I
oh,
mean,
6 eyes is the greatest passive. Like, nah, bitch. Like, your options are to kill me or I come back and be more of a problem. Like that.
well,
That
yeah.
is
I mean,
literally it.
historically, like Six Eyes fails eventually, right? Um,
You have to go. That's not wrong. You have to go through a lot to do it. I just
yeah.
love the fact. I love the fact that he was like, yeah, I tried to kill like the 6 eyes user, and another one still popped up. So yeah, I was just like I gotta figure out another way to deal with these people.
Yeah.
That would piss me off if I was the villain.
I can't defeat the one thing that's holding me back.
No,
so
straight. It's like
so how I gotta get rid of it somehow, but how?
How do I do? Like, it's like if
Ooh, trap it.
yeah, right, literally, and even then, when
Even then he come back.
when the thing fell out when the prison rail fell out of his hand, he was like, "Is this dude serious? Like from inside the prison room, he's still being a bitch,
He had the thing tired. He had that thing teary eyed, bro. Just
bro." Like, please get
dude,
this man outside of here. I
yeah.
don't want.
It's like I don't want him and me. No.
I cannot wait for them to animate the when he breaks out, and it's just
Bro.
it is Kijaku narrating. I left you in the
Yeah.
middle in the middle of
How
whatever
the
trench
hell?
it was with 1,000 S special grade curses surrounding it, and you just showing up here I'm
You know,
unbothered.
bro. That shit pissed me off when he stared at him and he's like ready to fight, and then they're like, "Nah, let's not do this right now." He said, "All right, set a date." He's like, "All right, the 24th of December." I was like, "Brother." They were like, "Isn't it weird to fight on Christmas Eve?" He's like, "I want to celebrate to death." I was like,
That's crazy. He said, I want
like,
to. He's like,
what?
that's crazy work, bro.
What? Ah, dude, it was insane. But
Gojo's
we'll
that
get to
guy. I don't
JJK.
care what
He is.
anybody says, bro. Gojo
He
Gojo
is.
is not a fraud, bro.
He is. He is that dude. He is that man. Um,
Oh man.
but yeah, back to my point is
Yeah.
I just think there is an argument to be made that you don't want to watch One Piece, and that's fine. It's just not your cup of tea. Maybe you don't like the politics in it. Maybe you think that the characters are lame or whatever. The power
Mhm.
system is bad or whatever. That's like you can argue that. But when you argue the length, it bothers me only because yes, I know 1,000 episodes. That's a lot. JoJo Bizarre is still going on too, you know. And
You already know
these
I'm not
some
defending
most
that show. I
yeah, but some people like that shit,
yeah.
right? And less people like that shit more than One Piece, right? Um, and you're willing to watch because off her list, I think it was just 2 series that were 600 plus episodes. That being Dragon Ball series and um Bleach. Uh, but you can't just put one anime, which technically only has one season in it. Even though it's a bunch of arcs in that season. Uh, you can't watch that just because it's 1,100 episodes.
Oh,
I don't know.
see, you just add like an extra 100. Um,
It,
oh,
it is it is more than 1,000.
it is. But here's the other thing, and this is just like, if I were a new anime watcher, yeah, 700 episodes to like 1,000, but that's like 700 episodes, and if you're outside of Super, it's done. You know what I mean? Like the Dragon Ball is over, Dragon Ball Z is over, Dragon Ball GT is over, and
Yeah,
is
and,
apparently canonically the last uh
and
series. But I don't want to get into
and I
that.
understand that's like the argument you can make because there's still 5 more arcs for One Piece to be over. There's 5, right? And that's a lot of arcs. That's a lot of
But
arcs, especially when you have like their more recent arcs have been kind of their longest arcs. Minus I think Egghead. I think before that it was Wano, and Wano was like I think almost 200 episodes within itself, which is a pretty damn big arc. Um, so I can understand. Like I totally get it's a lot to get through, right? It's just it's not the best argument for you not to watch One Piece, and I think that's what bothers me. It is the only argument I hear. It's the number one thing people say. It almost makes it feel like the hate for One Piece is just forced because it's so vastly big, and it also has such a big following. And it almost feels like a cult following because we're all like, nah, dude, you just gotta watch it. When truly, I don't even tell people. I don't even like recommend One Piece to anyone who's just starting watching anime. Just wouldn't.
oh, I was about to say you've definitely told me to watch one. I was like,
I've
let
definitely
me
told you
let
to
let,
watch One Piece,
let
but you've
me.
watched over 30,000 episodes of a lot of anime. So it's like, what's 1,136 more?
What we're not gonna do is say that with that tone. You know what I mean? Like that's just that was so judgmental.
Hey, I'm with you. I've watched a lot of anime too. I just
You watched over 50,000 episodes. What's 1,000 to you?
Am I wrong though? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I'll talk
Someone,
to
someone, tell me if I'm wrong.
He's
Hey, in
wrong.
the comments, am I wrong?
Tell him he's wrong. All of you. I'm shutting the
um,
podcast down.
but that's my point. It's like, of course, if you're just starting out watching anime, I wouldn't even recommend Naruto to you, to be honest. Like
Uh,
maybe
I think it's
because it is such an
yeah.
iconic. But it depends on who you are. If you told me you're like, oh, I don't really like watching anything too big, I'm not recommending Naruto.
Yeah, if you're somebody like you don't want to, yeah, if that's what it is, I would agree. If you don't want to watch like a longer anime, you want something like shorter, which honestly I don't recommend as
Hmm.
I would say do watch a big one, and then of course what your interests are. Like to me, Naruto is like a really good first. It's a
Easy
good.
one because it's ninja.
It's ninja, and it's like in shonen. It's a shonen anime.
Mm.
If like that'll be like your kind of tell if that's the kind of genre you're into. If you want to do like a more romance one, I would say Horimiya. Um, JJK is not a bad one either. Like
The only
especially
thing with JJK is
convoluted power.
the fan base will turn you off of it. Like that's my only argument against, especially recently with this new season. I have just realized that JJK fans suck,
Oh,
and they really piss me off. Yeah, that's it's just
it's
sucks. They
just
just
yeah,
suck.
it's people like in general. Like it's
Yeah,
I don't I honestly do not like. I'm glad we kind of changed the format of this just for everybody interested in listening. We originally did just like an anime news kind of podcast that we were going for, and they were just like,
hmm
let's just talk about anime, like just whatever way we want to talk about it, because like anime news would bring on like opinions, and like I just don't give a shit about other people to think like that. Like I'm
we'll
just
sprinkle it in, right? We'll talk about
right,
like
right,
what's crazy, what's
right.
different, whatever, and say our opinions. But at the end of the day, we just want to talk about anime
I just
and
want to talk about anime. Like it's
talk about
not
anime.
you like something, you don't like something, that's fine. But like
Yeah.
I just when people are like making it that's why I said earlier I don't like One Piece, but it doesn't mean One Piece is a bad show. Um
Mhm.
I don't like Demon Slayer,
Even though
but
you're
also
telling me
Demon
all the
Slayer
time
is a
that he
bad
hates it.
show. Yeah, no, 100% it's horrible. Um
Fuck you.
you activated me. That was on you. I
I
was
know.
I was cordial until you said you said
You
something.
activated my trap card. That's what you just did to me. Fucking asshole.
You've activated my spell card. Fake as
He
fuck.
lifted his glasses when he said that shit. Like I swear he said you activated my trap
Hit
card.
that Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just
Popped his collar.
Miami Yugi is just Mark Phillips from RDC.
Yeah, look, ultimately, like opinions, our opinion and your opinion don't matter. Like across the board, like
Right,
we're not trying to convince anybody of anything. To be
right.
honest, we're just trying to have good conversations over things, and maybe you explore a different avenue or a different perspective on some anime or something that we talk about, whatever the case may be. We also just want to make this fun at the end of the day.
100%.
So with the argument that I was making with One Piece versus Dragon Ball, keep in mind I love Dragon Ball. It may sound like I don't, but I do. I genuinely love Dragon Ball. It's one of the first series I've ever watched. Dragon Ball Z is probably one of my favorite series of all time because it's literally one that I remember waking up on Saturday mornings
Hmm?
and watching with my mom in Spanish, by the way.
Oh, that's kind
So
of fire.
it was even more dope for me, right? And so um I just I I'm getting almost exhausted by the forced One Piece hate that I see on social media across the board. Even though I also know there's a huge following of One Piece and a lot of people love it, I just see so much hate for it in every form that I in. And this is why this conversation came up. I literally looked up worst anime takes of all time
Uh huh.
for Jujutsu Kaisen this week. That's all I did. Anytime I had a break, I was looking into this because I wanted to do a little segment about it, and that's why I found this tweet. And I found multiple others, but this one set me off because like, anyways.
Let me tell y'all, I have never seen text bubbles appear faster in a conversation with this man than me, because I obviously I'm egging him on, right? Like I'm like
Yo, when I tell you he
it,
was giggling and kicking his feet while I
yo.
was clenched fist typing on my phone, dude, like
I was having the time of my life. I can't even hold y'all, bro. This because I knew he was hot. I knew he
was
was
yeah,
pissed.
I was, and I was like laughing through it because it was so funny because I knew you were just on the other side of the phone, fucking trolling the whole entire time, and I was like, "Nah, he's getting the better of me, and I don't care. I don't care right now. I gotta get this off my chest. I'm sick and tired of everybody right now." Um,
Oh
it's just because I feel like
man.
the One Piece hate is just so the One Piece hate is so forced because you either have not watched it and hate it because it's so long, and you have that opinion for some reason, even though you have not watched it, or you've
Hmm.
watched a few episodes and you're like, it's not for me. That's why when Mike says he doesn't like it, I don't necessarily fight him on it. I will chirp back because it's
Yeah,
probably like
have to.
I gotta,
Yeah.
right? But like I'm not gonna say like Mike's point on why he hates One Piece is invalid. Nah, Mike's valid with whatever he feels because he watched almost I think 300 plus episodes of One Piece if he got to Alabasta. Um
What? Yeah, let me look it up. I'm curious now what
I'm
episode
pretty
is.
sure it's like 200 or 300 episodes, somewhere around there, if I have my math right. That also I think you probably stopped right when they beat Croc because if you got to the end of that arc and stopped, I would question it if you even care about people.
How did we get here?
That's what I would question.
Because I
You just,
care about
I,
people because I
yeah,
stopped at the particular part in this
yeah,
anime.
yeah. That's how big the meaning at the end of that arc is for that show. It's like
It's crazy.
yeah, that's my opinion.
That's,
You don't care.
you need to put that under worst takes for One
It
Piece.
probably is. It is.
That's an insane
Probably is.
take.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying because some people have worse takes than I do that I don't have bad takes. I probably have the worst takes on this podcast.
Your worst take was
Uh,
the Akudama Drive shit at first. I mean,
hey,
you're
I
back.
came back
You're
around
back.
to it.
You came back around. You came back
I came
around.
back around
That
to it.
that low key shook my confidence in recommending anime. I was so sure you're gonna love that off rip, and when you were just like, I was like,
Hey, you got me back
oh.
with haiku though. You got me back with haiku because I'm be so for real. I've been emotionally damaged since then. I'm just not
I
stable.
I did when I tell you I wanted to like almost postpone that episode to like watch more because like I didn't want to I don't want him to think I'm being vindictive because I because you didn't like Akudama Drive. I legit I was just like
I
"Ugh."
you guys don't even understand. Maybe I didn't show it in that episode. How sad I was in my soul that he didn't even care. because haiku is one of those animes for me. It's like
Ooh,
it is like a just a nice chill anime I could put on at any point in my life
gotcha.
and enjoy it. It's like watching Avatar, right? I could watch Avatar any point in my life. I'm gonna love it. Haiku was that for me. And to recommend it and be like, dude, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, bro. I know you're gonna love it. And then to to get the it's like getting the news that your dog just died. And the person that's telling you that it just died pulled the trigger.
Who shot him?
And you're just sitting there like, Shadow, why?
Look, I like canonically for me it at least in my adult age it is hard for me to watch like hard for me to get into stuff. It's very rare that I watch something off rip and I was like Higashi Okuda. If it wasn't for the last few minutes of the first episode, I probably wouldn't have. I probably still would have gone back and watched it. It was just what it took longer. But that end where they sending him down to the pit, and I'm thinking, oh, he's about to like, please, no, I'm gonna get strong and get back. He's like, no, I'm coming back here. I'm gonna kill y'all. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what you got going on? I want to see.
Who is you? You are
Ooh,
different.
I'm coming back here, and
Yeah,
I'm putting belt to ass.
I'm putting
Oh,
belts to ass.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out who killed my adoptive father, and then I'm marking the rest of you. Old girl who threw my
I
teddy bear on the ground, it's up. I'm like,
I am on
okay,
BTA mode only, and it's
only
rated E for
for
every single one of y'all.
everybody could get it. No one is
Yeah.
safe.
And then he met Jagger, and then that's the thing. Like, God, I could go back into that, but like I even during my search for the worst anime takes of all time, I saw some about Gachikuda. I just don't think people like lore. I think people just hate story.
100%.
And there was one person who they posted a reel that this one did make me laugh. It was funny as hell
Mm-hmm.
because it was like Gachi Akuda fights be like, And this vacuum has been in my family's life for centuries, and it's my special uh what do they call them?
Uh, uh, um, frick me.
Something weapons. I forgot what they call them. Tool. Fuck, I forgot what it's
Vital
called.
instrument.
Vital instrument. This is my
Yeah.
vital instrument, and he's like, "Well, I got this sock, and it's wet," and he's just swinging it around, and he's like, "Why is it wet?" He's like, "Don't worry about
Don't
it."
worry about it.
And he's just looking at him while flinging this wet sock, and you just hear the wet sock go,
Ew,
and it's so gross.
ew.
He's like, you know what? It's wet at the end. That's how he says at the end, and I was like, nah, bro. That's gross. But also, it is funny that somebody's vitals instrument can be a vacuum, or
100%.
even just like anything, literally anything. Um, which I get that can be funny. But at the end of the day, the story behind Gachi Kuda, if you get to that ending, bro.
I did. I finally caught up to it.
Yeah, but I'm talking. I know we talked about this.
Yeah,
When she sees over the horizon,
bro.
bro. If you get there and you're not curious to how this show will end, I don't.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't.
100. That was genuinely one of the most like disturbing scenes I have seen in an anime in a while. Like that. That just like that everything about that shook me. Like I'm just over here
Yep.
fully expecting her to just fall to the ground, thinking about the leader that she's in love with, that don't want nothing to do with her, and and no,
So good.
she just gets like what's Beerus do in the when he just holds up his like palm and somebody just disappears. So, yeah, like that just happens to her.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay,
Disintegrated.
just gone,
Just
bro. Like,
yeah.
but it to your back to what you were saying about like people not liking lore. We gotta remember we live like I this is gonna sound insulting, but this is also just very true. We live in a world like TikTok, Reels, Shorts. Like you get immediate
Yeah.
gratification for 30 seconds of watching something. So,
That is something I think we as a society need to work on
yeah,
because I'm gonna air Justin out, but he deserves this because he aired you out the other day.
it's
So I'm gonna air him
crazy.
out here at the end of our episode here. Uh, Yesterday I was on the phone on the Discord call with him and Wes, and he asked Wes to pop up a stream so he could watch his rank. And me and Wes are like talking, and we're saying stuff that should warrant some sort of reaction from him.
Mhm.
Not gonna repeat some of them. It was very gross what we were saying, but it warrants reactions. Uh
Okay.
and he didn't say anything. This happens often with Fish. He's in the call, but he's not talking.
Hmm.
He has us kind of like lowered all the way down or whatever, and that's fine. But then I kind of call it out. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a game, and I'm also watching a movie, and we watching y'all's game and listening to music." And I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing? Are you like, are you like
That's
what?"
insane. I gotta take that out. God
You gotta
dang
take it
it.
out. You gotta,
What
you
time
gotta
is it? You
timestamp
motherfucker.
a minute, an hour and 3 minutes in,
Oof.
almost four. Sometimes it's okay if I just play my game and experience the game. I don't
I,
have to have music. I don't have to have, maybe music's fine, but I don't have to have like a stream or a movie on or whatever. Um, and I used to be like that all the time. Like, and I realized like it's just frying my brain because I'm trying to chase this like instant gratification in my head, like feel this like I don't know, feel something. I don't know what it is,
yeah.
and I think that's what's the problem with like people. They're just chasing that all the time.
See, my issue is something different because like what you're saying, I feel like there's a difference between like constant stimulation and
Hmm.
immediate gratification. Constant stimulation to me is like you just said, you've got Spotify, YouTube, all this other.
Yeah.
I can't do it like for a while. I actually grew into like listening to music while I played or putting up a video while I played because my undiagnosed ass gets overstimulated very,
Hmm.
very, very quickly. It does not take a lot for me to get overstimulated. So for the longest time, I wouldn't like I'm only playing the game. Hell, I couldn't even handle when I was younger if we were on like Xbox party and there were friends in there who weren't playing the same game that we were playing, but they were talking about whatever game they were playing, I would mute them. Like I can't, like, not even because I'm taking whatever game I'm playing seriously. It's just like I'm getting overstimulated. But like that to me,
Yeah.
that's like, kind of stimulation versus like that immediate gratification, which is like you watch this 30-second video and you get that like hit of dopamine or whatever. Like
Yeah,
it's
like you got everything you needed from those 30
right,
seconds versus taking 30 minutes for it
right,
or
and it's
2
just
hours for it or 5 episodes or whatever the case may be.
it's frustrating because I remember people like for Soul Leveling, for example, the
You
worst
know what
rated
ruined this?
episode. But
Well, you know what ruined this? Streaming platforms. Being able to binge watch. I think we talked about this before.
that is
The fact
true.
that you can literally binge watch a whole series, right?
In a week, yeah.
In a week, it ruins people's ideas of how long it should take in a show for something to
Hmm?
build.
I
You're saying
absolutely
so, Loving?
no, like I absolutely I 100% agree. Or real quick before I go to the Soul Leveling,
Mhm.
I'm on like the manga side of TikTok, the manga and manhwa, so like there'll be
Mhm.
accounts just posting random chapters and stuff, and people will comment. I have to start reading the comments because the comments will be like, "Oh, how many chapters is it?" And somebody will be like 32. It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let it marinate." What? Just read it. What are you
Catch up.
talking about? Just go read it. I'm sitting
Yeah.
here. I'm caught up on Shinobi Undercover, Kagurabachi, which I think is about to go on hiatus, and I'm so sad. Um
Yeah,
uh
that's also coming out in anime.
I know that's why I'm like feeling because the first arc, just like the last chapter I read is the end of the larger arc.
Mm.
I think it's like chapter 100 and maybe 80 something. But yeah, the new anime got I know new anime got announced. I'm so excited. That's gonna be so good. Shinobi Cutter, Kakurabachi, and Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Like, I could not imagine not trying to read those because you felt more gratified in being able to binge all of these because it's been completed. I I just cannot that I don't get that at all. But I was saying about Soul Leveling, the episode where um there was no action. It was him, bringing his mom back from the eternal slumber, and it was like the worst rated uh uh episode of that season because like nothing happened. People were like nothing's happening. Like this was the whole point. What are we talking about?
I
Because
think
it's just so frustrating, dude.
Yeah, I think what's crazy is I would probably rate that episode lower than you would, only for one reason. It's not because nothing happened. It's simply because I felt like for a while in Soul Leveling that it feels like every single resolution he needs to get to, he just gets to really quickly. Which I think feeds a lot into that. But like I thought it was gonna take him longer to get his mom back. That was my only like thing.
Okay.
And the fact that that gets resolved and everything, so what felt quickly, in my opinion, that's kind of where I would rate it a little bit lower, but not so low. No.
So for me, I hear what you're saying. For me, I thought it was a little bit faster too, as somebody who had read the manhwa, but that's just because
Mhm.
they're adapting the thing a little bit faster than I would expect.
Sure.
Like the episode, like they're not. There's only been like one thing, only like one or two things that they like not as of much significance that they've skipped. Um,
Mhm.
like just like little panels. I think I told you about it. One was when he's fighting Gojo. I think his name is Gojo, the strongest one for the Japanese group.
Yeah. I
And
think is Joe is close to Gojo.
it's so yeah, it
Something
sounded
like that.
mad close to Gojo. I can't.
Joe
I think is it
Jogo? Is it
Jogo?
Joga?
Nah, that's the volcano dude.
True.
God, somebody else that got the ass beat.
uh,
Wrong victim. Wrong victim.
I did. Is it Gojo?
I don't Goto. No, yeah, Goto. No, yes, Goto.
Goto. Yep.
Goto Ryuji. Okay, so yeah, when they fight, there's
Yep.
a after him and Jinu have their spar. There's a panel where he's like looking down, like he's like he says, "I almost died," pretty much. Like he's like, "I
Yeah.
felt like I was fighting death."
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't have it. I haven't have it. I see what you're saying about it getting kind of resolved a little bit faster. I also want to point this out too, as far as like the what you were saying about things kind of like happening for him. That
Hmm.
is intentional. That's not like a plot armor thing.
Right.
That is
Yeah. No. I think they
legitimately a
even
part of
like
it.
towards the end of it, if I remember correctly, they kind of explained that a little bit. He's like almost destined to do what he has done so far. It's like the power system that he's been given. He's, I guess, almost like made the right moves to be there.
I'm
Something
trying.
like that.
I'm.
I,
It's a
I I think I
little
know what you're
bit
saying. I
more.
haven't read it, so
Yeah.
I don't want you to spoil it. But like, I think I understand what you're saying. I kind of got that. I kind of gathered that. It's almost like not necessarily destiny. It's just like I don't know. I mean, it's fate. Out of some shit. Like, it has to do with it was planned, for the most part.
That last part. Just stick to that
Yeah,
last part. That last.
yeah.
It was planned. Yeah. That
It was
is.
planned,
Yes.
and so that makes sense, right? And
Yeah.
so, for me, like someone who pays attention to the lore, I find myself being more. No, I'm just kidding. For me,
You
I
want to borrow
understood
my
that part, and I think
glasses?
oh yeah, hand them real quick. Let me lift those up real quick. Okay. No, but I think that a lot of people just fucking skip lore. And here's the thing, man. If you don't understand something, it's okay to say you don't understand it.
100%.
You could just say you don't understand it.
I,
And you know what would help you understand it? Give it a little read. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth.
honestly,
Reading Jujutsu Kaisen helped me understand what I've seen so far way more.
I had to read
And
it
what
a
I've
couple
read
of
so
times.
far, or what I've finished from Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm excited to watch because I know watching it is going to put a lot of other things into perspective for me. So, but I think that's the my overall thing for like people who are watching these new shows, Jujutsu Kaisen, Solo Leveling, or whatever the case may be, is just put if you really care about it, if you really want to like it or know it,
Mm-hmm.
put a little more effort into understanding it
Mm-hmm.
because things, especially with Jujutsu Kaisen, are super intentional. It is intentional for you to feel the way about Gojo the way you feel about him. It is intentional for you to feel about the way you feel about Yuji, of every single character. It is so highly intentional to the overarching story of it
Mm-hmm.
that y- if you don't understand that early on, they even play on it later and everything. Like, but if you don't understand that early on, you're gonna maybe feel how everybody else feels. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're different, but in my opinion, I think a lot of the hate that shows are getting right now is very much so just people unwilling or unable to reading comprehension is just at an all-time low, and I think that's the
Yeah.
problem.
No.
Even though most of it is pictures, bruh.
Like
The reading comprehension part is so hard for you, I
that's what I
guess.
get pissed about manhwas. Manhwas
Yeah.
have less words most of the time. Like, how are we? You oh man, yeah. It's we're at an hour and I got like shit to do, so I
Yeah.
can't go in like I want to.
I I had plans to go over several other things, hot takes and whatever, but we did talk
I
about
knew
a lot
for
of
a
the stuff I
fact
wanted
we
to
weren't gonna get to
anyways.
that once we got started talking about One Piece.
Yo, and again, I want to preface, yo, like I do not hate Dragon Ball. I do not
Right,
hate the
right, right.
series, and I don't think One Piece is like better than Dragon Ball or whatever. Like maybe my own opinion can be that way. I'm not trying to frame you one other way or the other. I'm just saying, stop saying it's too long. That's my only thing. Argue anything else. Give me
Right,
another argument.
right.
Stop saying it's too long. I don't care. I'm tired of that argument. It makes no sense to me. Especially when you're watching 5 different animes with 700 episodes each. Just stop. Just stop. All right. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll catch you guys on the flip. Remember, peace, love, and positivity. Fuck ice, and we'll see you guys next time.
Everything he said. Plus, I think we're gonna have like an actual like One Piece versus non-One Piece watcher war before we have a race war. And that's actually hilarious to me. Y'all stay safe.
I'm about to enter in my prime. Hit you with a Cheeto to your Rasengan. So grab your big bowling, big spoons. It's time for some Saturday morning cartoons. It's all about the cinnamon toast, the Reese's Puffs. Go ahead. breast and milk and pump it up. Good morning.
So what show are we watching?